I'm not sure most people quite realize the scale of innovation and disruption that we're about to see now that ChatGPT has really been unleashed on the world via the public API. So, as I've discussed in previous videos, an API, application programming interface, is a way that developers can talk to different sets of data. So, you can, for example, use the Twitter API to access all of Twitter's data and then pump that into a program that you might have built for social media analysis. That's what companies like Brandwatch do. Now we can access the ChatGPT API. Anybody can access it. They're also saying that they have achieved 90% cost reduction since December. So that's a big cost reduction. So what that now means is that ChatGPT technology is available widely to anyone and is 90% cheaper than it was just a few months ago. This is very, very big. What we've seen up until now is what OpenAI can do with their own technology, ChatGPT. What we're about to see is what the whole freaking world can do with access to ChatGPT. So I don't know what the biggest innovation or the best innovation or the biggest change is going to be, but you can pretty well guarantee that there's going to be at least one. So I think in the same way that Facebook and smartphones were like a match made in heaven, they accelerated each other's progress. Facebook having access to people's feeds to access them wherever they are suddenly grew exponentially and took over the world. There's going to be somebody that owns the ChatGPT revolution in the same way. We just don't know who it is yet. There are a few that are already using it that OpenAI have listed on their site. So My AI for Snapchat Plus, Shop, which is the consumer-facing app of Shopify. There are a few others just listed on the website. You can find them yourself. Quizlet, a global learning platform with more than 60 million students, and many, many more. Just take a look at the website and you'll be able to find them for yourselves. But there are lots already using it. There is about to be a hell of a lot more. So it's very, very exciting. I think that we're about to see creativity and innovation unleashed on a huge scale. At the same time, there is data that's recently been shown, 2 early papers that have found the effects of generative AI are huge on knowledge workers. And this isn't about replacing people's jobs. It's about making people hugely more productive. So these papers found writers and programmers found 50% increases in productivity with AI, as well as high performance and satisfaction. So not only are people much better at their jobs, but they are much happier about it as well. So this is knowledge workers, this is marketers, writers, programmers. I think anyone working in the technology or marketing space should really be thinking about how they can be integrating this with their workflows. And I don't mean replacing people. What I mean is using it as a tool in the same way that you're using, spell checker or random word generators for creative ideas. ChatGPT needs to be in people's workflows, and it's going to unleash insane amounts of creativity. So very, very exciting times. It's already on the front page of Wired, talking about how this is going to disrupt the world. I also think that, when you look at the customer service of big companies, banking, telecoms, all of this stuff, that you're going to start talking to robots much more often, and you're probably going to enjoy it much more than often the people that you talk to now, but certainly than the chatbots that are around in the pre-ChatGPT era. The one bump in the road I think you might find with things like banking is allowing ChatGPT access to the data. So banking actually does have what's called open banking, which is, banks provide APIs so that third-party apps can access your banking information with permission. This was a really, really big innovation in the banking world maybe a decade ago now. I can't remember exactly, but the banking world, the fintech world, is already very innovative. But you might start now seeing much more AI involved in your finances. You might be able to, message your bank and say, "Hi, can you develop me an investment strategy that's going to give me a 10x return over the next decade?" And then it will come back to you with some really good, credible suggestions. I don't think we're quite there yet. As I've said in previous videos, I do think that you need a human in the loop for anything important. it isn't reliable in terms of factual analysis. It gets stuff wrong. It doesn't have common sense. It's very, very confident about things that are wrong. So you need people in the loop. What it is great for is a tool to supercharge people. So it's, in my view, something to be really excited about, not something to be worried about. Well, certainly not at this stage. Who knows in the future? I don't want this to be famous last words. But right now, this is a really exciting, huge boost in productivity for all of us that I think everybody should be looking at. So that's it from me this week. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week so far. Please do get in touch with any questions, leave a comment, and I'll see you next week.